It's my G Gaming. Looks like I'll have to seduce these zombies. I'll grab them in the Z spot. What's that over the horizon coming with all the subtlety of a wheelbarrow? Why, that's Resident Evil 2, the Nintendo GameCube version. Gross. But nonetheless, the topic of this Riffview before the big remake comes out, which I am giddy with excitement for. The first time Resident Evil 2 came out, it was on the PlayStation. Then it came to N64, and it's basically console hopped up until, I guess, around this generation, actually. Then it kind of stopped for a while, and now, of course, we're getting the big, shiny, brand new toy to play with. Which is a shame, considering how good this game actually is. Alright, Leon, we're going to show you what's behind door number 1! Resident Evil 2 famously was made out of an ether that wanted wholeheartedly to be slightly different than the first one, and really they inverted it to where you're not just worrying about yourself, you're worrying about another person. No matter which story Leon or Claire's you go through, you will always have another person to care for, theoretically, and another person to look out for, again, theoretically. So you come into this one with a far more communicative mindset than just your own survival, which leads to a fairly comprehensive, if nonsensical, story that you can actually get behind. And I really did. I really got behind the struggle of Leon and Ada specifically, because I was a sucker for a love story back then. Hey, welcome to the Force, rookie. We all dressed up as zombies. Under the lens of today, of course, it's dated. It's beyond cheesy. It is still better than the first game, because the first game is an absolute train wreck of acting. Very loose term there. So the most admirable qualities that come out of Resident Evil 2 are the refinement, the sanding down, the painting, the refinishing, and the varnishing of that Resident Evil formula that most modern gamers will recall in 7, because it's more or less just that, which is good still. It's really, really good. It's just missing a few of those quality of life pieces that 7 or chronologically Nemesis brought into the scene. So yeah, movement and aiming still feel stiff. There's no getting around that, but the formula is still instilled enough to where you have time to make adjustments, to backpedal with pretty much everything except in bosses. Bosses, it becomes a little bit more highlighted and problematic. I think this is my favorite classic Resident Evil when it comes to the extracurricular character designs, if you will. The Lickers again. Mr. X. Oh, Mr. X. He's the best. X whoever X'd. Sure is nice of the Raccoon City Police Department to hold their own officer AA meetings in the Jesus room behind their, I don't know, classroom? I'm just gonna say it. He out-nemesis's nemesis because he can change the environment around you. He's not just the wandering tyrant. Operation report. And Chiva is unfortunate. Ammunition. Lux is dead for tongue. Drake exit. And you run into his big gray badass by going through the second playthrough, which flips the entire script for the opposite character. So if you go through Claire A, Leon B is what you'll get next time you play through. And that is where Mr. X comes in. That's where the items are redirected. That's where the game files talk to each other. And you could be royally screwed or royally peeing yourself with new fears and frights. And then you have plenty of other extras like Last Survivor, which can pit Hunk, the Hunk himself, the faceless face that launched an unspeakable fandom that I'll never understand. Alright, I need to go to the L Tetris block in the bottom right corner. So, I mean, it's ultimately time that's taken away a couple of ticks from my tickle box when it comes to Resident Evil 2. Because, Resident Evil 4 came out, and that's pretty darn good too. Resident Evil 7 came out, and that's pretty darn good too. So, the shine, while still completely present on Resident Evil 2, doesn't quite glow as brightly. But I'd argue it's still the most approachable Resident Evil game from the classic series, on top of it being an absolute breeze if you know where you're going. Alright guys, you can get up. I know you said you were playing a prank, but I found out and I played a prank on you with fake bullets. Davis, you okay, buddy? Wait, were these? Oh, shit. Your total comes to an 8 out of 10 for Resident Evil 2. I can't wait for that remake, though. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I'll see you next time, little zombie foot dragger people. Okay, bye.